Hello, Gary Smith here again. Wanted to show you what a index card box is and how we actually use it to get new prospects. So let me show it to you right here. This is what I use as what I call my index card box. And as you'll see here, in the front of the box here, I've got the actual times that I can slide an index card in. And to show you what index cards I use, okay, this is the size I use here. I picked these up at the 99-cent store, and you'll see that they are 3 by 5 down here at the bottom. They give you the right size of them, and I guess I call them 3 by 5s. And they're lined, ruled index cards. And a lot of times you can pick them up at 100 or 200 at a pack for 99 cents. Okay. Now, that's what you use the index card box for. And if you'll notice, as you go behind the time, it goes all the way up to 9 p.m. here on this side over here. We have the days of the month. So I start with the first day of the month all the way through to 31, and that could be any month of the year. As I'm working, for example, the month I'm doing this video is March. And so if I have any cards that I'm calling back and they say, hey, call me back in a month, then I've got the months back here. And I can say for March, go over here to March, but of course after March is April. So we put them in April or May or so forth, which I have cards for. Of course, it goes all the way back to December. And then at the very back, I call that my dud file. And any duds, and a dud is just simply somebody that says they're not interested. So I put them back here, and of course I don't call them back ever. But I like to keep a record of them just in case they happen to call me back, and then I can pull out the card out of the back of the file. So that's how the index cards work. And you can pick these boxes up at any kind of office stores, Staples, things like that. And they actually sell this 1 through 31. They actually sell these. Or you can just buy the blank ones and then home make it like this. So that's how I do it. I divide it by the time of day, then later on the month. So for example, today being the 9th of March, if I have a callback, I would put it on the next day, which is the 10th of March. So I would put that under 10 for this current month. And then someone might say, well, can you call me back, let's say next week? That might be the 15th or 16th. So then I would slide the card in the 16th. And then when that day comes up, then you would pull that card out for all your stacks of cards that you have to call back that day. And depending on the time of day, then you would dice those cards up in here. When you get to the end of the month, let's say it's April 1st, okay, coming up here, then you would go to April and then pull out all the cards, a big stack of cards for April, and then you would dice them up into the days of the month. Let's say you want to call one on April 15th or April 1st or whatever, and you'd start calling them that way. So you're completely organized. Okay, now to show you an example of the actual cards, I made up some samples here. These are the cards here that I use. These are samples, and you can kind of see here how I do it, and I color code the cards. Color code them by time zone. For example, I have Texas here. This is my sample of color codes. If it's a specific time, I use yellow, mountain time, green, central time. Now you can use any colors you want. Just make sure you stay with that color so that you don't have to, when you take them out, you can dice the cards up by color code so you're calling people at the right time. For example, if you have, let's say, 8 central times and you have 2 Pacific times and maybe you got 9 or 10 Eastern times, then you can color code them instantly and then call them all at once in that same time zone for the cards that you have. And of course, I even added Hawaii down here. These are what the markers look like. Again, I buy these at the 99-cent store, and you got a color for each of the 5 time zones. Okay, so and there you have it. So you want to have that there. So this is, again, going back to the example, you have your index card, and the way I fill it out is like this. When I get somebody that allows me, let's say, to send them an email, I will write down immediately sent, and then it was sent Tuesday, March 8th, and then I write down the time. Now the time is really important because that tells you that if they answer during that time, that means that's when you could probably call them back around the same time and reach them. And then you have the color code for Texas. You notice I'm using the orange for Texas, and I put Central Time there. And of course, as I make other cards, they're going to be different time zones. Say green for Mountain Time, yellow for Pacific, and so forth. Then I have the, I make sure I put the person's name here, their email address. I write it down and I double check the email address, the phone number to call them back. And of course, these are sample cards, so these phone numbers don't exist. But I just want to show you how I do it. And then I write a little note. You know, he said he and his wife have both been looking for this type of opportunity. Then when I call them back, the next day, I have little rabbit tracks. So Wednesday 3/9, I called them at 3:45, no answer. Okay, and so this is kind of examples here. Here's another example. Okay, same thing. I put the date. I sent the email, the exact time across the top of the page here, top of the card. I mean, the line index card. You got Kevin Pack, his email address, phone number, once info, and then I called again Wednesday 3/9. I got a voicemail, so I left a message. Here's another example here. Again, Arizona, Mountain Time. For this type of year, I put good lead. Once a callback Thursday 3:10. So they actually requested a time, and then of course there's the email, and it verified exactly when I sent the email and the time across the top. So you get an idea. Even on this one, I put like excellent lead, so you can kind of see notes here. He said he and his wife have both been looking for this type of opportunity. And the time, I called back again the next day, 11:45, no answer. Now what I do is, after I do these on the 8th of March, I would then put them in the index card for the 9th of March, for each day of the month here that it's actually set up for. So then when the 9th comes out, I pull all these cards out, and I have those set up. Now, as far as voicemails are concerned, let's say you get a voicemail and you want to leave a message. This is how you do voicemails. You have your answering machine. I put answering machine, and I put everything on one card. This card will actually allow you to put 10 names on a card, and then I put the date that I'm collecting the voicemails. So I call up, let's say, Joyce Miller. I write down her phone number, and then I actually write down the time that I left the phone message. So let's say, write it down like this. So you have all three. You got the name, the phone number, and the time. And then let's say the next time I left a message would be 11. I'm just making up numbers here. AM. So as you're leaving the messages, it'll look like this. Okay, so now you got the name, the phone number, and I left a message, let's say at 11:17 a.m. Then the next one's John Smith, the phone number, and the time I left that. So now, when they call back, you'll see on your caller ID the number that they're calling back from. So you can look there, and right away you'll see, let's say you'll see the caller ID, and it says 779 on it, 660. Oh, that's Michael Long. So you can actually, when they call, and you can tell it's a man's voice, of course, when they answer, say, "Oh, hi, this must be Michael." And that way, it makes them feel like you're the only one that you're waiting for their call, because you left a message for them on a voicemail. But this is how you can actually see the cards, and then of course you continue down the card as you're leaving voicemail messages. When you get done with this, you have no more room. Okay, then get another card and write the same thing at the top: answering machine, Tuesday, March 8th, or whatever day it is. And that way you could have 3 or 4 or 5 cards, and if there's 10 on a card, you have 5 cards. That's 50 voicemails that you've left for that day. That'd be a pretty darn good day. And now when people start calling you back, you've got all the information right there. You want to grab it. So if you're going shopping or you take off, take this card with you, so you know when somebody calls, you can see the caller ID and know exactly who's calling you. Okay, so anyway, that's the how an index card works and how you file the cards. And I hope this helped. And again, thanks for watching.